Mr. Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, civil society partners. The role of civil society as a partner in resilience is mentioned 82 times across the post-2015 frameworks. We hope to finally see risk reduction designed by those bearing that risk, those with the knowledge and capacity to ensure local realities are taken into account. But it has now been 2 years since the Sendai framework was adopted. And we're still seeing local people excluded from decision-making processes. The result in DRR policies and activities that are maladaptive, ineffective, and efficient use of resources. This needs to change in the design of the national and local DRR strategies, mandate to develop by 2020 under Target E of the Sendai framework. CSO's civil society is attending the global platform for disaster risk reduction and want to work with others towards the success of the DRR strategies, as well as interrelate agendas of Paris Agreement, Agenda 2030, and World Humanitarian Summit, and the Urban Agenda. Using these particular skills and connections, we, civil society, has committed to the following actions in support of the design, implementation, and monitoring of effective national and local DRR strategies before 2020. Support the building of overall resilience of communities, establishing community-based early warning and communication systems, and by implementing projects to reduce the underlying drivers to risk, small and everyday disasters, including the livelihood diversification and health initiatives. Support to local participatory disaster risk analysis and monitoring, integration of risk reduction into development measures, and the inclusion of people inputs in the disaster risk governance at regional, national, local, and global level. Support inclusion of the most risk groups such as women, youth, and children. Indigenous communities, those living with disabilities, and the elderly are included in early warning and communication processes. Support governments to define national and local targets and monitoring process by collecting and analyze local data and on risk. Disaggregate by location, sex, age, ethnicity, and disability. Support multisectoral and cross-border coordination, including through collaborative workshops and best practice sharing. In order to deliver these commitments, we ask all governments and partners to create and maintain a supportive institutional and political environment to facilitate the engagement of local people and actors, together with access to adequate means of implementation for local actions. We outlined 10 specific ways of governments and donors can support this enabling environment by 2020. Collaborate with and promote leadership for local actors, especially those groups disproportionately at risk in the design of policies and actions. Establish system partnerships with civil society organizations. Establish inclusive platforms for meaningful multi-stakeholder dialogue at all levels. Invest in civil society networks to enhance South-South cooperation. Invest in aligning sectoral activities, targets, and budgets for coherence between DRR, disaster response, climate change adaptation, and other development processes. Establish a global UNIDR civil society advisory group to systematically consult in the development of priorities and actions, and can be tasked to develop collaborative capacity-building programs and guides. Promote and build local leadership, including the delegation of financial and monitoring responsibilities. Utilize local information and local knowledge to underpin decision-making and inform actions within disaster risk reduction strategies. Localize DRR funding for more equitable implementation of the Sendai framework at all levels. And finally, create transparent institutional accountability systems that ensure effective citizen participation and civil society collaboration. On behalf of the global civil society, thank you very much.